What's up, everybody? Today we are taking a question straight from a viewer. Now, let's dive straight into the question, shall we? So this is coming directly from Phil. Now, he is a viewer, and he says, "What's up, Jake? Just watched your video, and I want to be part of the amazing community that you are helping to build. We are already building it, so thank you. I'm planning on getting a hair system summer 2021 before university. If you want, I will tell you how it goes. Could you tell me what your opinion would be on having to maintain a hair system while in university accommodations?" Now, I continue to ask him a couple questions, clarifying, and I got this response from him. He said, "The reason that I'm waiting until next year is because it's the final year of high school and I don't want to suddenly walk in with a full head of hair. I'm planning to transition to university with the hair system where I will not know anyone and I will be able to have a fresh start. However, if they ask about my hair system, I will most likely tell them. I'm planning on getting the system a month before I leave so I can practice removing and cleaning. The room that I'll be in does not have a suite bathroom. However, it does have a sink with mirror. Do you think this will be good enough for maintenance?" Now, inside of this right here, there's a couple different things that we could address and a couple things that I did email back and forth with Phil regarding. So the first one is this. Now, Phil is waiting until right before he goes to university, or that's the question that he asked me. He said that he'd be getting it a month before he goes to university. Now, I don't think this is a great idea. The reason I don't think that this is a great idea is because of this. When you're going through a lot of life transition, whatever it is, whether it's marriage, divorce, moving, going to university, taking a new job, there is a lot of change happening. There's a lot for your brain to process, and you're trying to make sense of things. You're also trying to make new friends. A whole bunch of different things are going on in your life. Now, that can easily wind up becoming cognitive overload, which is when your brain is trying to make sense of and process way too much information. It's trying to handle too much, and you just get super overwhelmed and you stop working, like your brain stops functioning. So here's the thing. When you're first getting a hair system, there's going to be a learning curve there. Learning to clean and maintain your unit is going to take some time. Watch my old videos. You'll see that I shaved my head. Here I am on this YouTube channel, just shaving my head. Now, you don't want to have an experience like that when you're going to university. It's going to be, for most people, it's a great time of life, but it's a time of a lot of stress. You're leaving everything that you knew behind you. You're starting over. You're kind of you're putting a stake in the ground, and you're saying that, hey, this is my new identity. This is who I want to be. This is what I'm going to do. And while that's actually really sexy to do with having a new hair system, looking brand new, fresh, having more confidence, I think that it's actually tagging on to the amount of stress that Phil will feel in this period of time. Now, if everything goes swimmingly and it goes great, he gets his hair system, he knows how to maintain it, he makes friends, he finds his clubs, he finds his classes, he gets good grades, that's great. But I like to prepare for the worst possible situation. This is just how I go about doing things. So while I recommended that Phil does is this: get a hair system this summer. Now, he's going into his last year of high school over in the UK. So what that means is, if he gets it this summer and he learns how to maintain it and how to take care of it and what he can and can't do with the hair system now, he can give it like a beta run, like a test run before he goes to university when he goes back to school. Now, I suggested this to Phil and he said, well, I don't want to just walk in with a head of hair. Here's the thing. Whether you show up at university or you show up at work or you show up at high school, people are really not going to notice that much unless you go from bald to just having a big head of hair. Especially in Phil's case, he wouldn't be seeing his friends over the summer break. Or maybe he would, but he didn't clarify that. But I'm assuming he wouldn't. So he wouldn't see his friends for potentially 3 to 4 months, but because of coronavirus now, he probably hasn't seen his friends for months already. And he's going to have a period of time before school picks up in the fall. Now, because of that, I think this is a really great opportunity, like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take a shot and to get used to something where you're already in a time of life where you have a lot of comfortability before you go and take it into the place that you want to take it. Now, this is directly applicable to you, whether you're in high school and you're thinking about going to college, or you're at a job and you're about to leave for another job. This is actually a great time if you're going to switch a job soon, do it before you switch the job. Get used to it before you switch the job because you want to be prepared, right? So now the next part that he asked me is about if a sink and a mirror is going to be enough to maintain his hair system. For the most part, yes. However, you're probably going to want to, you could do all of the maintenance without a shower. You could clean your scalp just in the sink, and you could wash it out with soap. It's going to be a little bit tougher, but this is something that you can totally do. You're just going to want to have all your supplies inside of your sink, and that's totally preferable, right? Because if you were in dorm style bathrooms, which like 40 people use the same bathroom right on a floor, it could get a little bit strange. I'm not gonna lie, get a little bit strange attaching your hair system inside of that. So I think you're already set up for success in that right there, Phil. Now, after we discussed this, he went on to talk about having a itchy scalp, and he asked me what the best bases and adhesives are for someone who has a itchy scalp. Now, number one, I would say if you have an itchy scalp, it's something that you should look into as to why you have an itchy scalp, right? There could be a couple different reasons. You could have a skin condition that you need to adjust. It could actually be your diet even. If you start eating better, your skin will get in better condition. You might need to change your shampoo. So these things need to be addressed before you start looking at the adhesives. Now, number one thing with adhesives that I can tell you is you're going to want to patch test. If you have sensitive skin or you know that you have allergies to things, in general, it's a great rule of thumb, patch test your adhesives. So use a piece of tape and stick it to your arm or like in your elbow or something like that. If you want to try an adhesive, whether it's Ghost Bond or whether you want to try Ultra Hold, test these out on your skin and see if you have a reaction. That's going to be so huge for you to make sure that you don't have an allergic reaction. As far as the itchiness factor goes, there's a couple reasons you could be experiencing itch with a hair system. It could be because the hairs are growing up and through the system, which the only way to really rectify that potentially is to maintain your unit more often and shave down your head. So that's something you might want to look into. Now, it could be also a issue with water kind of getting trapped underneath there with the adhesive. So you could say potentially that you're going to want to have a breathable unit. So whether it's French lace or Swiss lace, probably not a polyurethane. So those are some factors that you're going to want to consider. For me, what I'm discovering right now is that the French lace is, now it's not itchy all the time, but like when I sweat, the French lace is ever so slightly, just the texture of it is more itchy. But I'm less itchy overall because I don't have that like water sweat mixture that's trapped under the polyurethane. So the French lace is actually a better mixture for me. That's what I'm wearing right now. So guys, I think that there's some practical tips in here for absolutely everybody. And I hope that this was helpful, and we'll catch you in the next one.